The door creaked open to the familiar scent of Mom's apple pie, but the laughter echoing from the living room hit me like a freight train. There on the couch where I'd spent countless teenage nights dreaming of escape, sat Jordan, my Jordan, the woman I'd loved for 3 years, her arm draped possessively around my younger sister Taylor's shoulders. My suitcase slipped from my hand, thudding to the floor as the world tilted, and in that instant, the breakup that had driven me back home paled against this fresh stab of betrayal. I stood frozen in the entryway, my heart pounding in my ears like a war drum. How could this be? I'd called ahead, told Mom I was coming back to Seattle after things fell apart in New York, needing time to heal from the mess Jordan and I had become. But here she was in my family home, her fingers tracing lazy circles on Taylor's arm, the same way she'd once done to me. Taylor looked up, her blue eyes widening in shock, but Jordan's green gaze met mine with a flicker of guilt that quickly hardened into defiance. "Alex," Taylor stammered, pulling away slightly. "You're early." Early? As if timing could soften this blow. My mind raced back to the last fight with Jordan, the one where she'd accused me of being too closed off, too afraid to commit fully because of my family's conservative roots. I'd stormed out of our Brooklyn apartment, thinking space would fix us, but instead she'd run straight into the arms of my own flesh and blood. Taylor, my little sister, the one I'd protected from bullies in school, the one who'd confided in me about her first crush on a girl back in high school. Had she always harbored this? Or was this Jordan's revenge? A twisted way to hurt me by infiltrating the one safe haven I had left? I forced myself to move, stepping into the room with legs that felt like lead. Mom emerged from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a towel, her face lighting up before registering the tension. "Honey, you're home." She pulled me into a hug, oblivious at first, but then her eyes darted between us. "What's going on here?" she asked, her voice laced with confusion. Jordan stood up, smoothing her blouse, that confident stride I'd once found so irresistible now making my stomach churn. "Alex, we didn't expect you until tomorrow," she said, as if that explained everything. Taylor hung back, biting her lip, her usual bubbly demeanor shattered. I wanted to scream, to demand answers, but the words stuck in my throat. Instead I muttered, "I need a minute," and retreated to my old bedroom upstairs, slamming the door behind me. Alone, the dam broke. Tears streamed down my face as memories flooded in, lazy Sundays in bed with Jordan, whispering dreams of a future together. Taylor's excited calls about college life, how she'd finally come out to me last year, seeking my advice as the older, wiser lesbian sister. How ironic. Had they bonded over shared secrets about me? The thought twisted like a knife. I paced the room, my mind a whirlwind of rage and hurt. Why Taylor? She knew how much Jordan meant to me. We'd grown up in this house under Dad's strict rules. No dating until college, church every Sunday, the subtle disapproval when I brought home my first girlfriend. Mom had tried to bridge the gap after Dad passed, but the old wounds lingered. And now this. It felt like the ultimate violation. A betrayal that cracked the foundation of my family. Downstairs I could hear muffled voices. Mom's rising in pitch, Jordan's calm explanations, Taylor's tearful interjections. Part of me wanted to storm back down, confront them, but the exhaustion from the cross-country flight and the emotional wreckage held me back. What if this was my fault? I'd been the one to leave Jordan hanging, unsure about marriage because of my lingering fears of rejection. Maybe she'd sought solace in Taylor's arms, someone who understood the family pressures without the baggage. But no, that didn't justify it. Taylor was blood, Jordan was choice. The conflict tore at me. Love for my sister warring with the searing pain of loss. Hours passed in that room, my phone buzzing with ignored texts from friends back east. When Mom knocked softly, I let her in. Her face was etched with worry, the lines deeper than I remembered. "Alex, talk to me," she pleaded, sitting on the bed. I spilled it all, the breakup, the surprise discovery, watching her expression shift from confusion to horror. "Taylor said it just happened," Mom whispered. "After you two split, Jordan came to town for work and they connected." Connected? The word burned. Mom hugged me again, but her embrace felt hollow, tainted by the knowledge that she'd apparently welcomed Jordan into the house without question. That night sleep evaded me. My mind replayed every interaction. Taylor's admiration for Jordan during our visits home, the way Jordan had always teased her like a little sister. Was it all a facade? The inner turmoil gnawed at me. Should I forgive or fight? Leaving New York had been my escape from one heartbreak. Now home offered no refuge. As dawn broke, I resolved to face them, but the doubt lingered. Was this the end of us as a family, or just the beginning of something irreparably broken? Breakfast the next morning was a minefield. The kitchen table, once a place of warm family meals, now felt like a courtroom. Mom bustled around, serving pancakes as if normalcy could erase the elephant in the room. Taylor avoided my eyes, pushing food around her plate, while Jordan sat with forced composure sipping coffee. I took my seat opposite them, the silence thick enough to cut. Finally I broke it. How long? My voice was steady, but inside a storm raged. Jordan set her mug down, meeting my gaze. A month, she admitted. After you left, I needed to clear my head. I came to Seattle for that conference, and Taylor. She was there for me. There for her? The implication hit hard. Taylor, my confidant, stepping into the void I'd left. Taylor's cheeks flushed. Alex, it wasn't planned. We talked about you, about how hurt you were. Just evolved. Evolved. The word echoed in my mind, fueling the fire. I trusted Taylor with my vulnerabilities, shared stories of our fights, our passions. Had she used that to worm her way in? The betrayal stung deeper than Jordan's infidelity. This was family, unbreakable, or so I'd thought. Mom interjected. Girls, we need to talk this out. Family first. But her words rang false. She'd known about them for weeks, she confessed, hoping it was a phase. The conversation spiraled. Jordan defended herself, claiming our relationship had been doomed by my indecision. You were always one foot out the door, Alex. Afraid of what your mom would think, what society would say. Her words pierced, dredging up my internal battles, the fear of fully committing in a world that still whispered judgments about women like us. Taylor chimed in, tears welling. I love her, Alex. For real. Not to hurt you. Love? So soon? It felt like a slap, her declaration amplifying my sense of loss. I pushed back from the table, heart racing. You both knew this would destroy me. Taylor, you're my sister. How could you? She reached out, but I recoiled. The room blurred with emotion. Rage at Jordan for her opportunism, sorrow for Taylor's apparent naivety, and self-doubt for my role in pushing Jordan away. Mom tried mediating, but her conservative upbringing surfaced. This isn't right, two women. But if it's love? Her hesitation revealed the underlying prejudice, the same one I'd fought against since coming out at 19. Escaping to the backyard, I sat on the swing set from our childhood, memories assaulting me. Taylor and I swinging high, laughing about boys before we knew better. Jordan's first visit, how she'd charmed everyone. Now those moments felt poisoned. Inside me the conflict brewed. Forgive Taylor because blood is thicker? Or cut ties to protect my heart? Jordan's words haunted. Had my fears sabotaged us? Growing up in a household where Dad quoted Bible verses against unnatural love, I'd internalized the shame. Even after his death, it lingered, making me hesitant in relationships. Later, Taylor found me there. Alex, please, she begged, sitting beside me. Our talk was raw, her confession of long-held feelings for women, inspired by my courage. How Jordan's vulnerability after our breakup drew her in. I didn't want to hurt you, she sobbed. But intent didn't erase impact. I felt torn. Empathy for her struggles clashing with the pain of her choice. You chose her over me, I whispered. She denied it, but the truth hung heavy. That evening, Jordan cornered me in the hall. I still care about you, Alex. Her touch on my arm sent mixed signals. Familiar comfort twisted with revulsion. I pulled away, the inner war intensifying. Part of me missed her, but the betrayal overshadowed. Mom watched from afar, her silence speaking volumes about her own discomfort with our lifestyle. The day ended in stalemate, each of us retreating to corners of the house, the tension building like a pressure cooker. As I lay in bed, doubts multiplied. Was Taylor's love genuine? Or a rebellion against our shared past? Jordan's opportunism? And me? Had my guarded heart invited this chaos? The emotional weight pressed down, heavier than yesterday, forcing me to question everything I'd built my identity on. The following days blurred into a haze of avoidance and confrontation. Work from home became my sanctuary, burying myself in graphic design projects to escape the suffocating atmosphere. But meals forced us together, each one a battleground. Mom's attempts at neutrality faltered. Her sidelong glances at Jordan and Taylor betrayed her unease. "This isn't what I envisioned for my girls," she confessed one afternoon, while we washed dishes. Her words unearthed my old fears. The societal stigma we'd both internalized from church circles, where lesbian relationships were whispered sins. Taylor's guilt manifested in overcompensation, leaving notes of apology, cooking my favorite meals. But each gesture fueled my resentment. How dare she play the victim? Inside, I grappled with the morality. Was her pursuit of happiness worth shattering our bond? Jordan, meanwhile, grew bolder, defending their relationship as real love, contrasting it with our half-hearted one. Her barbs hit home, stirring self-reproach. Had I been too afraid to fight for us? The New York life we'd built, art shows, late-night talks, now seemed like a dream tainted by my hesitations. An explosive argument erupted midweek. Taylor announced they were looking for an apartment together. "We can't stay here forever," she said, eyes pleading for understanding. I snapped. "So you're just going to parade this in my face and then bail?" Words flew. Accusations of selfishness, manipulation. Jordan jumped in. "You're the one who left me, Alex. What did you expect?" Taylor defended her, and in that moment, the alliance against me crystallized. Mom tried intervening, but her voice cracked. "This is tearing us apart. Why can't you girls be normal?" Normal. The word ignited fury. Normal like hiding who we are, Mom? Like Dad wanted? I stormed out, driving aimlessly through Seattle's rain-slicked streets. Tears mixed with the downpour on the windshield, my mind a torrent of conflict. Dad's death 5 years ago had freed us somewhat, but his legacy of judgment lingered. I'd come out first, paving the way for Taylor, only for her to use it against me. The ethical dilemma gnawed. Forgive for family's sake? Or demand accountability? Society's lens amplified it. Lesbian relationships already marginalized. Now incestuous undertones, even if not blood-related in intent, invited more scorn. Returning home, I found Taylor waiting. Our heart-to-heart was brutal. She admitted admiring Jordan from afar during our visits, but swore it only ignited post-breakup. I felt seen, Alex. You were always the strong one. I wanted that strength. Her vulnerability cracked my armor, evoking sympathy amid the hurt. But then she dropped the bomb. "Mom knew I liked girls before you did. She told me to pray it away." The revelation shattered illusions. Mom's acceptance was superficial, her discomfort now weaponized in this mess. Jordan's turn came later. Alone in the living room, she confessed regrets. "I messed up, but Taylor, she's good for me." Her eyes softened, reminding me of why I'd fallen for her. The pull was agonizing, residual love clashing with betrayal. "You chose my sister," I accused. She nodded, tears falling. "Because she chose me fully without fear." The words exposed my flaws, intensifying self-doubt. Was my caution a moral failing, or self-preservation in a judgmental world? Mom's breakdown that night unified us momentarily. Sobbing, she admitted struggling with our orientation since Dad's influence. "I love you both, but it's too much." Her pain mirrored mine, forcing reflection. Societal pressures had warped us all. Taylor comforted her, Jordan hung back, and I watched, torn between joining or withdrawing. The emotional layers deepened, each revelation peeling back more hurt, pushing me toward a precipice of decision. Sleep brought nightmares of loss. Family fractured, love unrequited. Awakening, the weight crushed heavier, the internal battles fiercer. Loyalty versus justice, love versus morality. The high stakes loomed, lose my sister or my self-respect. Weeks in, the strain reached boiling point. Friends from New York called, sensing my distress, but I downplayed it, too ashamed to admit the family implosion. At home, alliances shifted unpredictably. One evening, Taylor and I shared a rare moment alone, reminiscing about childhood. "Remember when we built that fort and swore we'd always protect each other?" she asked, voice trembling. I nodded, the memory bittersweet. But then reality intruded. "You broke that oath." Her face crumpled and she fled, leaving me with gnawing remorse. Was I too harsh? The moral quandary intensified. Punish her or extend grace? Knowing society's double standards already punished us enough, Jordan's presence became intolerable. Her casual touches on Taylor, innocent yet intimate, triggered flashbacks of our time together. One night, I confronted her privately. "Why my sister? Was it to get back at me?" She sighed, vulnerability cracking her facade. "No. After you left, I was lost." Taylor understood the pain of hiding the family expectations. It wasn't revenge, it was survival. Her words humanized her, stirring conflicted empathy. I'd known her struggles, growing up in a small town where being out meant isolation. But sympathy warred with anger. Her survival at my expense? Mom's involvement escalated the drama. She scheduled a family meeting with a counselor. A well-meaning but intrusive move. The session was chaos, tears, accusations. The counselor probed our dynamics. My guardedness from Dad's disapproval, Taylor's need for validation, Jordan's role as catalyst. Mom admitted her bias. "I thought it was a phase for both of you. The exposure raw, amplifying internal turmoils." I questioned my choices. Had staying in New York fighting for Jordan prevented this? Or was it inevitable, our fears colliding? A betrayal within the betrayal surfaced. Taylor confessed Jordan had initially reached out to her about me, seeking advice on reconciliation. But then, feelings shifted. The revelation devastated, Jordan using Taylor as a bridge, only to cross it. Rage surged. "You manipulated her." Jordan denied, but doubt seeded. Taylor defended her, fracturing us further. The ethical lines blurred. Who was victim, who villain? Society's gaze loomed. If outed, we'd face judgment as deviant sisters, amplifying the stakes. I considered leaving, packing bags in secret. But Mom's plea stopped me. "Don't abandon us." Her vulnerability echoed mine. The pressure to maintain family unity clashing with self-preservation. Taylor's tears begged forgiveness. Jordan's silence spoke regret. Inside, the storm raged fiercer. Love's cost, betrayal's price. A late-night call from an old friend offered perspective. Family isn't just blood, it's choice. But choosing hurt. The climax hit when Taylor announced a temporary move out with Jordan. "To give you space." It felt like abandonment, intensifying isolation. Alone with Mom, we talked deeply, her evolution, my pains. "I failed you girls," she wept. Empathy bloomed amid sorrow. But the emotional toll mounted, each layer heavier, pushing toward catharsis or collapse. As they left, Taylor hugged me fiercely. "I love you, sis. Always." Her words pierced, leaving me questioning. Could redemption follow ruin? The house emptied, silence deafening. My heart a battlefield of unresolved conflicts. Months dragged on in the aftermath. The house a ghost of its former self. Mom and I navigated uneasy peace, her efforts to understand our world. Reading books on LGBTQ+ issues, attending support groups, chipping at old prejudices. But the void Taylor and Jordan left echoed loudly. Texts from Taylor came sporadically, tentative bridges. "Miss you." I replied curtly, the hurt too raw. Inside, the debate raged. Forgive to heal, or hold grudges to protect. Jordan's unexpected visit shattered the fragile calm. Alone on the porch, she apologized profoundly. "I was wrong. Taylor and I." "It's over." The news stunned. They'd split amid guilt over the pain caused. "I realized I was running from my feelings for you." Her confession reignited old flames, but caution prevailed. "You destroyed everything," I accused. Tears flowed as she admitted using Taylor to cope, the moral failing haunting her. Empathy clashed with resentment, her vulnerability mirroring mine. Society's pressures pushing us to desperate choices. Taylor returned home days later, broken. Our reunion was tearful, confessions pouring out. I thought it was love, but it was escape. From Mom's expectations, from being in your shadow. Her honesty exposed depths. Jealousy of my independence, fear of judgment. I shared my torments. Fears that held me back from Jordan, now costing us all. The talk mended fractures, but scars remained. Mom joined, her growth evident. "I accept you both as you are." But acceptance came late after damage done. Rebuilding was arduous. Taylor and I attended therapy together, unpacking sibling rivalries amplified by shared identities. Jordan faded into the background, her departure a bittersweet release. Yet doubts lingered. Had her involvement awakened necessary truths? or just inflicted needless pain? Society's role loomed large, its stigmas forcing hidden lives, desperate decisions. My internal resolution crystallized: embrace authenticity despite costs. As bonds strengthened, reflections deepened. The ordeal forced awakenings. Mom's evolution tailors maturity, my courage to love fully. But the price? Shattered trust, lingering aches. Life moved forward. I dated again cautiously. Taylor focused on self, Mom advocated quietly. In the end, was the betrayal a catalyst for growth, or an unforgivable sin? The question haunts. Can true love justify breaking sacred bonds? Or does family loyalty always trump personal happiness?